World Cafe from NPR.
World Cafe is supported by the Charles Stewart Mott Foundation, celebrating a century of supporting efforts to promote a just, equitable, and sustainable society. More at mott.org/100. And by the Wallace Foundation, an independent, nonpartisan research foundation collaborating with grantees and partners in the arts, school leadership, and youth development. More at wallacefoundation.org.
This is 88.5 WXPN HD1 Philadelphia, 88.7 WXPH HD1 Middletown, 91.9 WXPJ HD1 Hackettstown, 90.5 WKHS Wharton, and streaming at xpn.org. Member-supported radio from the University of Pennsylvania.
Welcome to Amazon Country, radio from lesbian and feminist perspectives.
Here come the lesbians, here come the leading lesbians. We're gonna please and tease you, hypnotize and tightly squeeze you. We're gonna get you if we can. Here come the lesbians. Don't go to try to fight it, run away or try to hide it. We want your love and sex or bed. Here come the lesbians. Don't look in the closet.
Welcome to Amazon Country, radio from lesbian and feminist perspectives. I'm your Amazon Country host and producer, Deborah D'Alessandro. Thank you so much, as always, for spending part of your Sunday night with us here at XPN. Well, we have very talented local artists in our listening area, and one of the rising stars is Shug Daniels. I shared my conversation with her earlier this spring, and I'm going to bring it back as an encore presentation because, while some of the gigs she mentions have passed, she has a full tour schedule, many of them in our listening area. So check her out. ShugDaniels.com is where to get her schedule, SUGDANIELS.com. And this week she has two gigs coming up. Wednesday, August 5th, Shug Daniels will be part of the Summer Outdoor Concert Series at the Woodlawn Branch Library in Wilmington, Delaware. She is a Delawarean. And on Sunday, August 8th, she'll be the special guest at the Planet Automatic album release in Doylestown, PA at Artifact Brewing. So let's get to some of her music and then to my recent conversation with the talented and delightful Shug Daniels. You're in 88.5 XPN. You're listening to Amazon Country. joined tonight on Amazon Country by Shook Daniels. Shook is a Delaware-born, Philadelphia-based ukulele player, singer-songwriter, storyteller, producer, and coach who's using all the tools around her to capture the emotions of the era we are living in. Shook Daniels, welcome to Amazon Country.
Thank you for having me.
Well, I always want to highlight local talent, and I find it incredibly ironic and amusing that I had heard your music and was a fan and kept wanting to get to your shows, but we actually met in Michigan last August because you played a festival I was at, which is, I was attending, RISE. You know, in the women's community, we do love an acronym, and for those following along at home, RISE stands for Reigniting Intergenerational Sisterhood Everywhere, and it happens on the old Mitch Fest land in kind of southwestern Michigan, and it still happens. And later this spring, I'll be interviewing the producers of those festivals because the other one that happens simultaneously is called WIPI, Women's Performance Initiative, which is like band camp. I don't know if you knew that was happening at the same time. It's performance workshops, so you could be a writer, play an instrument. They have like orchestra band, and Ann Heaton teaches a singer-songwriter track, and I'm going to be leading a little festy choir.
Okay.
And then it's like at camp when you're at summer camp, and this is for women and girls. On the last night, Saturday night stage, each track gets to perform for everybody else. So
That's the best part.
isn't it? Because
Yeah.
we support each other.
Exactly.
But enough about what happened in Michigan when I got to meet you. I am so delighted to give our listeners a little window into you and your music. So tell us how you came to be a ukulele playing singer-songwriter who's now playing all kinds of gigs, including coming up soon. Next week, you're going to be at the Falzer Club, which is in my neck of the woods, Saturday, June 6th. Is that a noon show? It's noon.
It's like a cool, almost like a music conference.
That's awesome.
Yeah, so this really just full of fire young man, Frank Viale from Connecticut, he owns Bigger Beast Records, and he puts together these festivals called 21 Songwriters. And so he just brings songwriters from the area and then some of his, on his indie label, and they go around, and a lot of times they're just donation based, but they do a bunch of songwriter in the rounds, and then they also do workshops. So there'll be like a writing workshop and then a music industry workshop, and have people come out and speak. But for the Falzer Club, and there's always like, it's for some donation. We're not getting paid, so just a heads up, buy a ticket. It's not coming to me. It's going to the Falzer Club. Falzer Club in Philadelphia is our premier, listening room at this point. Women owned. We love to see it. Shout out to my girls. And
it's right off of Kelly Drive, so
Yeah.
it's really easy to get to. I live in Germantown, Section City. It's like 12 minutes from me. If you live in Center City, it's easy to get to. There's public transit, and it's like right along the Schuylkill River. So
It's
I love
beautiful.
the Falzer, and it is a great listening room.
it is. I've performed there probably at least 4 or 5 times there now, and opened up for Chris Rise once when she came through, and it's just so beautiful. But this fundraiser specifically is to help them fund a kitchen, because I don't think most people don't think about it. They're just, how do venues make their money?
And it's at this point, they're selling popcorn and
Yeah.
soft drinks.
No, the popcorn's still free, so shout out to them for giving.
No, I
me
love that, but like they
Yes.
don't have a kitchen.
They need a kitchen, and we want to support them, and we want them to have a kitchen because we need that space. As for me as a singer-songwriter, for what I do, that space is vital. So I'm excited to offer my talents and try to get some people in the door. Please come see us. It's going to be so big. John Fay's on there. The lead singer of Kikishima is going to be there. My buddy Antar Goodwin from Survival Roadshow. It's just a plethora of
A veritable cornucopia of musical pleasures.
Yes, girl. It's gonna be good, including myself. So, yeah, that's gonna be beautiful.
So you haven't always been a performing songwriter. So what's that journey been like for you?
Well, I really actually have.
Well, correct me.
So my mom had me and my brothers in church. I don't remember the first time I ever got on stage. We were just always doing Sunday choir and singing. We sung at home all the time. And for Christmas, my family would always do like a talent show. So you had to do like a song or a dance or tell a story or a joke or something. So I have actually been doing this.
This is what you always loved doing. And was that talent show just for the family, or was it for the neighborhood?
Yeah, it was for the fans. It was
Love
for the
that.
fans. know.
Yeah, that's a
but
great way to celebrate Christmas.
So all of my cousins are very talented. I think me, and then I have another cousin, Rocco, who is a producer down in Dover, Delaware. He's phenomenal. We're the only two I think that really went for it as far as music, but
In the
all
biz.
yeah.
But I mean, there are many of us who music is our avocation, even if it's not our vocation.
That's right.
And it's make a joyful noise.
That's right. Ashe.
So, how many recordings are out there now? I mean, we played. What did we just play? We're just talking about my favorite
Brand
song.
New Day.
We just played Brand New Day.
Brand New Day.
And that's getting a lot of love here at XPN.
It is. Thank you guys.
And so, how long have you been recording and putting music out there that folks can download?
I started
to in the streaming, all the platforms.
Yeah, so this was I Believe in You, which is my debut album for the Shook Daniels project. That's my first album, but I had some music that I previously released on Final Go Records, which was a really cool indie label based out of Brooklyn. And
Final Go?
It's called Final Go
Are they
Records.
still around?
They are still around, yeah. They're bi-coastal. Two girls. I knew one of them from when I used to play in this band, Hoochie Coochie, down in Delaware, and she seen I was putting out some solo stuff, so she reached out, and so they released Heavy and Franklin Street, which was my first EP. And then Don Giovanni Records, which is now Philly-based, used to be New Jersey. They had signed like Screaming Females, and I think Rap Boy might be on their label.
That is a great Paisan name there.
I know. So shout out to
Don
Joe.
Giovanni.
Yeah, and he released When I'm Gone, which I know is one of your favorites. So in the Shook Daniels life, I have I got those few things out, but I mean I have been putting out music under different band names since I was in high school. I always, it was never a question. I always knew I was going to be a musician, and I feel like sometimes you just know. And I told you recently, I had gotten into a little money insecurity, and I was like, I gotta get a job, and I got a job. I try to go straight, and I can't do it. I love this so much. I did a month, and I'm back to making music full time.
Well, we're glad that you have taken that risk to put all your energy into making music, because it's a beautiful thing. And I went to your release party in Delaware. I don't know, was that last year? Because I'm a really poor historian of my own life timeline. It was that wonderful little venue.
Arden?
Yes.
Arden Guildhall.
Oh my goodness,
love
it's
Arden.
beautiful. And so what really impressed me, I guess it was the second time I saw you, because I had seen you at the Mitch Fest, is the energy and joy you bring. Because we're both short women. I think I can, out you as being petite, because you can't tell. Everybody's tall on the radio.
Yeah.
But your energy is huge. And the love between you and the bandmates you had on that stage. First off, tight band.
Yes.
Just outstanding. And just that love came through. And the love in the room. You clearly have a following as a Delawarean.
Listen, they keep showing up, so I keep giving them my best.
So, where do you see yourself, like, aspirationally to, continue with this, the path of being a working musician?
If I'm being honest, so I always say I write music for me. I need to write because I need to process. It is just my way. I perform for my community. I perform because you never know who needs to hear that song. It is so vital, in this day and age of everybody's on the internet and living life. I'm here to tell all the young people who are making music, it is so fun to make music and put it online, but get it in front of some people. That's really where the magic happens. I think sometimes the internet can rob us with these analytics and the numbers and the streams. And it's cool, I say all the time at the end of the show, it's really cool when your music is getting played out all the way over in Russia or in Canada and all these places. I'm very grateful. But when you're on listener-supported radio, you're playing these like local shows, your community gets to know who you are. If you want to be somebody important, you want to like add value to the place that you live, performing your music, giving your art to the people, and the money's gonna come and it's gonna go. Sometimes I make a lot of money, sometimes I don't make any money. But doing what you love and following that passion is gonna make you just so much more happier than getting a bunch of streams, I'll tell you what.
Well, I think the internet has given folks the ability to build an audience, but it's being in the room with live music, whether you're on the audience side or the performance side. If COVID taught us anything, it's how much we missed that, when all we could do is see people from their living rooms. And I remember, the XPN studios are in the same building with what is now called World Stage, that it was dark for a long time because it wasn't safe to be together, and how much we all craved being in the same room, having the vibration of the sound waves all experienced together. It's a community experience.
Yeah, it really is.
And it changes us.
It does change us. And I'll even, just to jump back to, the love that was on that stage, I call my band the Chosen Family Band. And, as a queer woman, when you grow up and you hear the word chosen family, because not all of us, sometimes our families will, they want nothing to do with us. So then we find people that make us feel seen and make us feel good. And everybody on that stage, we all feel that way for each other. Everyone is a main character, like every single
Main
one of them.
character energy.
They all have main character energy.
Absolutely.
And we love each other and we support each other. They all have their own projects, and I go to their shows, and it's just so wonderful. And I think to go around and bring that, and the band is diverse too. There's like all different kinds of people. I have two-spirit people. I have indigenous and Hispanic and Indian and Jewish, and there's just everybody's on that stage with me. And when you're in the audience, there's somebody for you. It's just like, yeah, it's and I didn't even do that on purpose. That's just my family.
It's just who you drew together.
Yeah. I think like attracts like, and I feel very blessed.
Your vibe attracts your tribe.
That's right.
A friend of mine, Sharita Powell, has an amazing clothing line. She has 2 stores. Says African American lesbian independent entrepreneur. She has Amazulu in Reading Terminal. If you've never been there, you should check it out. And she has Urban Karma wear in the Box Center in South Philly. But that's one of her shirts. Your vibe attracts your tribe.
That's right. It's true. I genuinely believe that. So, and that just lets me know I must be doing something right, because I just feel so blessed and honored to be able to play and make music with these people, because they blow my mind. I'm on stage like, dang, did you hear that violin solo? That was crazy.
Absolutely. And the diversity of the audience. That was also great. All the colors, all the ages, and people that look like they could be your parents' age. I mean, I could probably be your parent because we have a little age difference. Speaking of which, we were talking about this. So I came out in 1985, and at that time, it was a career killer for artists to come out. I mean, I was just telling the story of remembering whatever year that Melissa Etheridge had her first Grammy nomination for like Best New Song. I sat in the living room of the group house. I lived with other women in Fairmount section of the city, and we saw this woman come on stage in all leather, singing Like the Way I Do. I think some one of those great ones from that first album, and we were like, oh, that's a lesbian, but she couldn't be out yet, right? And so, what is it like for you in your mid-30s? Was it ever a choice? Like, I mean, there were artists who had to make decisions about, like, she did all of her love songs were to you. She didn't use any other pronoun.
You know who else did that?
Indigos for a while.
The Indigo, who I didn't get a chance to meet. I got to open up for them last year. That was so amazing. His name slips my mind, which is just going to drive me crazy.
Not Rufus Wainwright.
No.
He's younger too.
Oh, somebody just put me on to Rufus. And Katie Lang too. I just discovered
I
Katie
saw
Lang.
you say that online, and that's when I realized we have an age difference, because you should totally cover Big Bone Gal. We're gonna play that tonight.
Yes, that's okay. That first album had me just like hooked.
Absolute torch and twang.
And the second album too.
Mm-hmm.
It's got I can't sing you in or something like that. I can't remember the name of it. It's got
I can't either.
I was like, wait a minute, why didn't anybody tell me?
Oh,
but
and then Ingenue was an amazing album.
I think that's the one I'm talking about.
When she did all the smoky.
Yes.
That is the one that was her breakthrough album.
Yeah.
Constant Craving became a big hit.
Yes, yeah.
This is the story of you're giving the musical history of my life.
Come on now. But it's fun. But that's what I do love about, all the music. You can listen to anything, anywhere, at any point in time. Because now I can discover Katie Lang from a TikTok, and because she had won, I think, a Grammy or something like that. And the year before she had won a Grammy, she wore a suit, and everybody gave her crap about it. So she came to the Grammys again in a wedding dress, and I didn't know. And she kind of went up there and was shucking and jiving, and was like, "I'm going to continue to make
a hoed down."
Yeah. She's like, "I'm going to continue to make music for the right reasons." But just and that was all she said. But I was like, who is that? So that's how I discovered Katie Lang. So shout out to sometimes the internet, it does what it needs to do.
Family Fund supports XPN and is a nonprofit dedicated to strengthening communities by funding organizations that provide support to those in need. More info, including ways to donate, is available at oaktreefamilyfund.org.
Or yeah, but it's always been very cutthroat, very like there could only be one, and especially to be queer, to be a queer woman. So
Because it took a long time for people to keep it up.
That's right. That was like recent.
Very recent.
Yes. So at the urging of my family, for the sake of our success, I just stayed quiet about it. And if I did lean into it, it was more in a male, like a male gaze kind of way.
Like you were telling a story.
Yeah.
A character.
Yeah, exactly. Then when I was in Richie, my funk soul group, but the drummer of that band was my partner. So I was writing love songs, and all these like heartbreak songs and stuff like that. I was writing for her, about her. And because we were in Delaware, I just didn't think about it anymore. I was like, this is who I am, and this group is just so much for me. If people aren't going to listen to it, then that's fine, I remember growing up, I had Tegan and Sarah in high school, and I remember they immediately were out, and in an interview later, they were like, we didn't want to wait for it to be cool or to be safe, listen, our Canadians, they're doing it up.
And there were others who had paved that trail for them.
Yeah, absolutely.
Like Katie Lang.
And
Speaking of Canadians, that's right. And then, they'll, Brandy Carlisle stands on the shoulders of the women who went before her.
Absolutely. So it's like, they did all that for me to not use the pronouns, and I love a good gender neutral song, but I also love it when I know exactly what's going on,
Well, and like I said, the beautiful thing about that audience is that there were, there was one particular older white straight couple I chatted with. They were like loving everything you were doing, so they could see their love in your songs, just the same way that lesbian and gay and other queer folk saw ourselves in all of the straight love songs that it was all we had access to when we were coming out. As Alex Dobkin, that's another one you should look up. She's like one of the first lesbians to put out a very lesbian-identified album, and she joked about how she had a song about women loving women, and she said, okay, guys in the audience, you can sing this too, because I had to sing I've been working on the railroad, even though women didn't work on the railroad when I was a kid, so we can all sing these songs, right?
Because these feelings are really universal. That's really what it comes down to, is we can relate to Elton John and Brandy Carlisle and all these people because these feelings are relatable.
That's right, because if your art is genuine, then people can relate to it. Absolutely. We're almost out of time because it's a short show, so we're going to wrap it up. I want you to remind folks of the upcoming gigs. So we have next Saturday, June 6th, at the Falzer Club as part of that wonderful afternoon. And I do love an afternoon show because I'm old now and I get tired. But you have a wonderful Friday, June 19th at 8 p.m. up in the beautiful Godfrey Daniels up in South Bethlehem.
Yeah, and that's with the Roots Revival Roadshow. So the Roots Revival Roadshow is kind of like a traveling, alternating lineup of African-American musicians. And we just get together and we just make some music. We'll do like a writer's round. We'll play some tunes together. We'll tell some stories. So that one's also really fun. And I'm very excited to announce that October 16th, I'll be playing the Philly Music Festival, and that'll be back at the Falzer Club. But that'll be full band, so you get to see me in this.
So that's a look ahead.
Chosen family band.
All right, and then folks can get your info. Give your website out.
Yep, it's ShugDaniels.com. Shug is spelled ShugDaniels.com. I'm really good about posting all my shows because that's how I make my money, baby. I need you to come to the show.
And the Kennett Flash is another great listening room, and you're there on Saturday, June 20th with the Roots Revival Roadshow, and it says rooftop. So that's
Rooftop, baby.
It says a free community event. Well, this is a very exciting list of events. So we want folks to come out and experience the joy, the joyful noise, and energy of Shug Daniels in the various configurations of your band.
Please, let me share with you.
Thank you so much for joining us on the Amazon Country.
Thank you very much. I appreciate it.
Hey, it's Kristen Curtis,
And I know hearing my voice right now means that the weekend is almost over. But it's all right. Bob Bombera and I are going to do our best to get this fresh week off to a good start for you by distracting you with a new Friday morning mixtape theme assignment, taking you back to the 90s at 9 and getting you caught up on the news. Join us from 6 to 10 a.m. on your radio, via our free app, or tell your smart speaker to play WXPN.
If you want to make an impactful gift to ensure that your home for music discovery survives and thrives, consider a planned gift to WXPN. A charitable request is easy to establish, costs nothing up front,